Okay, well, it's been a little bit of time for me, and I'm sorry about this noise. There's some large gentlemen moving stuff about. Anyway, it's been a little while since I've been at Van. I've had a cold, still getting over it. It really wiped me out. But I've also had some thoughts about all of this. So I'm not going to, no spoilers, but what I want to do is today I just want to get this primer rubbed down. I want to get it rubbed down and at least in a position where I can hit it with some of the paint that's going on it. And it's going white. Yeah, it's going white, but will look very different to a lot of other vans. I want it to stand out. Anyway, I'm going to crack on with this and we're going to just start rubbing it down. So let's get going. Oh, and I've just found out this place has got lights. Well, it's been quite light every time I've come here. It's a bit of a dull, overcast day. Just found out. Go me! Okay, as you may already know, I am not a bodywork specialist. I'm being encroached upon by a dove. The dove of doom. It's getting really close. Anyway, as you might be aware, I am not a bodywork specialist. This is very much amateur hour. So I am currently, having done a little bit of research, vacillating between using the 600 pads with an interface pad on my sander, which I've just realised is at home. Anyway. As is the other thing I need, which is the Scotch-brite. Oh, I've got to go home. Well, the decision might be made for me, actually, because if I don't have the sander and I don't have the Scotch-brite, I might have to do it by hand with the 600s. There's a couple of little patches. I'm going to move you in. I don't know if you can see them, but there's a couple, well, I know you can see them, a couple of little patches here and here. And it looks a bit like rust coming through. But actually, when you do that, it feels like it's on top. It feels like it's oil that's laid on top. So, just going to give it a light rub with the 600, see if it... Yeah, that's definitely not rust. It's like some kind of oil. Okay, well that seems to have worked. That seems to have taken it off. I was worried I'd have to go at it again with the... 600 pad is clogging. I don't know if you can see that. It's clogging up. Not sure why, as I said, amateur hour. But it does seem to be keying the metal. let me just the grey Scotch-brite is actually doing a better job. I can't remember what sort of grit this is supposed to be. Let me Google it.
One quick Google letter.
So, it would seem that if this is the light grey pad, which I think it is, this is ultra fine, which is 600 grit. So, it certainly seems as fine as the other pad. So, just going by my eyes and looking, yeah, it's doing the job. It's just taking off the high points. I don't need to key it. Or at least I don't think I do. And anyway, the entire van is being sprayed in graffiti paint. So the actual paint that graffiti artists use. And my thinking is graffiti paint will stick to pretty much anything. Well, car paint will, pretty much. Brick, steel, concrete, tarmac. I've seen it on all sorts. So this is all about the finish. And when you see what I'm going to do, the finish isn't going to be the thing that people will be looking at. Believe me. I've basically got to give this a rub down over everything. And I'm probably going to have to remask all of this. Yeah, all of that's got to come off. Of course it has. There's a bit of sticky on that now because I've left it too long. Right, interior cleaner. No, I think we could hit it with a little bit of thinners, just a smidge on a cloth. Yeah, something like that. Oh yeah, I saw a really good tip. Put the panel degreaser into like a spray bottle and spray it on. I've been tipping it onto a thing and wiping it on. No. But, you know, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. We're all idiots to some degree. Well, it's kind of not working. Oh, it's worked up there. That's odd. It took the grease and the sticky off there, but not there. Oh, it's like a shadow. Oh, I think that's a ridge line. Oh well, I must have sprayed that. Well, it is high bill filler. Anyway, just going to hit this all over, rub it down, and then we can get to the good bit. There's more poo on the roof. Mind you, it's 3 weeks and it is full of pigeons, so, you know, what did I expect? Yeah, that's a ridge line. I'm going to have to hit that with something a little tastier. Let's see if this will. Yeah, that seems to be doing the job. The high build filler certainly builds. I mean, I've just been rubbing that and there's still a smidge of a line in there. Yeah, it's like a vertical run. You know, there was a line, a lump. Oh, we have slightly gone through the primer there, but we're going on to white with white, so I'm not too worried. This stuff is great. This is doing the job. It's taking the high points out and giving it a nice kind of satin sheen, which, if that was the finish I got on the final spraying, I'd be happy. Got the same thing there. Okay, once you've got the technique of what it is you're doing, you know, it's relatively rinse repeat. Except for you burn through where you touch, so you have to be a bit careful. There we go. Again, just burnt through a bit there, but that's fine. If we have to hit it with a little more primer, I'd rather that than a ridge. I'm also thinking of this primer coat as a little bit of a kind of guide coat. So if I rub it and there's a problem, not that I'm trying to get an concours showroom paint winning paint finish, but it would be nice to at least be acceptably flat. No big ripples or horrible runs. That's what I want. Just want it clear, clean. It's amazing how giving it a little shine, because this is what effectively you're doing, you're cutting it back and it's making it shinier. Giving it a little shine changes the entire appearance. You know, you can see the drag spots and the, you know, the bits where it might need a little more. Very weird. And there's a lot of spiders' webs. Where are those blown in from? No idea. It's a little flat on the top. Might have got overspray on that. Well, you know, like I said, not an expert. I've also got a shoulder problem, which has settled down in the last couple of 3 weeks. Settled down, and it may have been because I've stopped rubbing this van down. But I've got a half marathon coming up in about 10 days on the 1st of September. and I want to get through that and then to build up my distance again. So all about that in another video. But yeah, this is going quite quickly. I'm quite hopeful that we'll get this done today. Famous last words. But yeah, been off ill. And I firmly believe that whilst you're ill, you should spend the energy, any energy spare that you have, recovering. So I've literally been doing all of my daily mandatory tasks in my businesses and no more. If that means I'm done at 3, I'm done at 3. If that means that I'm done at 9, I'm done at 9. I'm never done at 9. I'm not one for struggling through. If you're ill, you're ill. Go and lie down and recover. Your body is telling you something. Your body is telling you you need to rest. And if you don't listen to your body will send out bigger and bigger signals that it needs to rest until eventually you fall over and collapse. And I know that from personal experience when I ended up with pneumonia, and it was a wake-up call to be getting pneumonia in your late 30s, early 40s. And in fact, the doctor that came and saw me, because I was rushed in, actually told me I was an idiot. Actually said, "You've been an idiot to yourself. You should have rested when you had the hacking cough. But you didn't. You carried on." And that stayed with me. And now, if I'm ill, and I'm genuinely ill, I'm not ashamed to say I'm not Superman. Just can't keep going. You have to stop. And I know some people don't have that luxury. But whilst I do, I shall be kind to myself, and I will put my feet up, eat good food, sleep as well as I can, take all of the supplements that I have, and take care of myself. It's the gift I give myself. Like eating well. Health doesn't start by getting better from sickness. It starts with good food and a good rest, exercise, sunlight, water, just really simple things. The body is a very simple machine when it comes down to it. And if you just give it the basics, it will respond. Homeostasis. The point at which the body tries to get itself back to. So even if you're doing all sorts of bad things to your body, it's constantly trying to get itself to a point where it can function in the most efficient way possible. Homeostasis. Look it up. But I learned the hard way, and I hope you never have to, that health is a daily chore. It's a daily chore. Eat a piece of fruit, go for a walk, stand outside for 10 minutes in the sun. You know, and that goes for your mental health as well. Do things which are kind to yourself. Think about things that are nice, goals that you can put in place. Pat yourself on the back for even small wins. Just, yay, I put the washing on. Fantastic. Don't take yourself for granted. It's a big, complicated world out there. And we humans have a capacity therefore making it even more hard on ourselves by telling ourselves, being the first in the queue to criticise yourself. Why? There's an entire globe of people that would be more than willing to step up and tell you where you're deficient, you're broken, you're an idiot, you're stupid. Why join the crowd? Why be the first in that cheerleading mob? Don't give that any space in your head. It's hard. Not saying it's not easy. Not saying it is easy. But you have to remember that you can be your best chance of success by just watching the self-talk. How many times do you tell somebody, oh, I'm an idiot? How many times in a week have you said that? Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I can't do that. Change it. Oh, I've not experienced this before. Oh, I'm learning something. There's all sorts of things that you're never going to know until you approach the topic or the task or whatever. And at that point, you're learning. It's either a win or it's learning. I've said that often enough to people, and I see that they understand it, but it doesn't, I don't think it goes in. I don't think they take it on in a wholesale way or a holistic way. They just generally think, well, yeah, you know, duh. But living it is a much harder proposition. Watching that self-talk, it does build up that chatter, you know. It's like rust. Every single day, a little bit more. And the more of it there is, the more there is a tendency for more to come. And it sticks. So why not, like this van, give yourself a rub down and a fettle up and just change a few of those things in your head. If what you're doing isn't working, anything else, no matter what, has got to be better. Yeah? Easy peasy. Right, continuing the rubbing down. Now there's a slight, I'm gonna take all of this off and redo it. I think it'll benefit it in the long run because it's not a clean edge, and I think that'll come back to bite me. What about you? You got anything that, bit of advice, bit of life advice, something that somebody could benefit from that you know? Stick it in the comments. I'd love learning that stuff. Love being more efficient and better. You know, learning is a lifelong skill. You learn so very little at school. You learn nothing about life, about people. There's lots of opportunity to improve yourself if you open yourself up to new experiences and different people. Listen to people who you don't agree with. Don't argue with them. Try and understand where they're coming from. Try and find out what's pushing them forward. That'll give you a better understanding about their motivations, rather than just saying, no, you must change. Well, would you change if somebody said, you've got to change? You know, never in the history of being told to calm down has somebody calmed down. by being told to calm down. You know, it's simple. We're self-determined beings with agency. Why would we listen to somebody else? Well, it's probably because you have not had their life experience. That's why their thoughts are different. You might not understand it from their perspective. You don't have to agree with the perspective. It's not what I'm saying. But certainly, listening to... oh yeah, that's got a ton of overspray on it. Don't look at that. No pictures. But those people that are other, outside your scope of experience, maybe have an insight that will allow you to open up a little. I don't know. Worth a try though, isn't it? For a more peaceful world. A friend once said to me, the truth is a sphere and you can't see all the way around. So you need other people standing on the other side of it to reflect it back to you what they're seeing. That stood me in good stead. I don't know everything and I don't have all of the answers. I can't. Imagine the burden of that on somebody. Oh, I like finding out about other people and about their worldview. It's interesting. Yeah. Got to wipe it down again, haven't we? Panel wipe. What do I do with the cloth? No, I know what to do with the cloth. I'll put it in here, possibly. That'll do. A bit of degreaser. A little bit of life philosophy and cars. It's what you do when you're with your mate, isn't it? You stand there shooting shinola and figuring out how to fix the world. That's part of car ownership, isn't it? When you're a big car fan, standing around, staring at your shoes. It certainly was for me. Back when I smoked, having a fag, a cup of tea, shooting the shit with a friend. Maybe advancing the project by about 3 bolts. Avoiding doing the hard tasks. Oh yeah. I'm privy to all of the dodges and wheezes. Well, you see, we can't do that this week. Why is that? Because I'm waiting for such and such to be delivered. And if I do that first, then I can't do that next. Yeah, we all know. When you rub it over with the microfiber cloth, it sort of snags. It doesn't glide. You can feel each and every, like a bit like Velcro. Not quite as coarse as Velcro. And I know I should be wearing PPE on my face, but most of the dust is dropping, and there's a building doesn't have any sides on it, so there's quite strong wind blowing through here, which is going to prove a challenge when it comes to spraying it and it drying. I'm thinking that we might put the gazebo up. You never saw my fun and games with the gazebo. So I bought a 6 metre by 3 metre by nearly 2 metre tall gazebo off of eBay. But it was just the frame. And my cunning plan was to spray this on our drive, which you've seen, 2-car drive, but put the gazebo over it and wrap it with saran wrap or pallet wrap and make a tent. Yeah, well, the wind destroyed the pallet wrap, so I've got 2 rolls of pallet wrap that, for no reason now, industrial strength cling film. Apparently it doesn't tear very well, according to my wife. Not an acceptable substitute for the kitchen roll. It's actually really easy to tell where you've been, because it's like this picks up and you can feel the increase in resistance, and then it sort of drops away. And then when you get to somewhere that you've been, you can feel there's way less resistance. Now, I don't have a compressor. I'm going to rattle can it, remember? And the only problem I've got with that is having a compressor would be useful to give an air bath to the one, two. Just a bit paranoid about the tech. It has proven to be less than reliable recently. And obviously, this isn't the most exciting task. But I'm kind of behind on my footage. I'd built in a 3-week buffer. So what you were seeing was 3 weeks behind. This is this week. So this week that this is going up is this week, which doesn't give me any future buffers. Well, maybe I've got one video that I want to share, but it's not quite there yet. I don't know if you can see that, but it's almost a different colour. I see that through the lens. I'm back here now. You've not seen me for a while. Right. I don't know if you can't really see it, because from here, it's shiny, and let me turn it this way. Come with me. I'll stand there. Have a look at that. Yeah, you can see it. It's shiny. I know this is shining it up, so the light will reflect more, so it will appear lighter. But you can definitely hear it. So yeah, right. Let's pop you back here, and you can watch me coming towards you. There we go. Oh, I've had a whole drama when it comes to these back engine vents. A whole drama. I'll show you some footage, but these were painted white, and I thought it would be good to use paint stripper. And I got some paint stripper from Screwfix. Going back to rubbing. done the job. Yeah. Feels flat. Whereas that doesn't, that feels like a fucking canyon. Not canyon, a mountain. The opposite to a canyon, Stuart. I'm not sure if I've mentioned at any point, but I'm not a professional. Right, that's a lot of footage of rubbing down. Rinse, repeat in the entire van, and we'll come back in a minute. Boom, done. All wiped down, and given a Scotch brighting. It's brought up a few little imperfections, but again, I'm not too concerned really, because the paint finish is going to be, yeah, it'll take your eye off of things. And it is only a panel van for knocking about in my business, so it's not like it needs to be concours perfect. You've got a few high spots that I have touched on, which have gone through. There's a few sort of little low spots which I'm going to have to, I think, touch with some filler. But there shouldn't be a lot of filler, you know, just, it's like less than a tenth of a mil, just dink, and that needs sorting out. And of course the roof, which has got all sorts of bird detritus on it. Right, so that's it for this side. One more side in the roof, front and back. That has taken me the best part of 2 hours, so I reckon constant grind of it today, we might see it all done. So fingers crossed. But for now, I'm going for lunch. Okay, we have done all the whole side. We've done the back, we've done the other side. We've got to hit this door and the front and the top, and I just ran out of time. Mainly because there are a few issues that threw themselves up, including and not limited to a little bit of filler I put in down there just fell out. I don't think I prepped it too well, but apart from that, all of this is done. The wheel arch is done, the door just isn't done. I've just run out of time today, and the roof is going to, I think, not only because of all the pigeons and all the rest of it, if you recall, it was very hot when I put the roof on, so I'm not looking forward to it, because I think I might even have to actually spray it again. So we will see. I'm kind of using this as a bit of a guide coat, bit of primer. There are some areas that I've got to fettle in and just, you know, tidy up, but it's not looking too bad considering that it was all different colours when this first started. So there we go. There's not a lot of progress. Rubbing down, sanding, yeah. I've got the front. Actually, the front, whilst it's quite intricate, there's lots of surfaces, there's lots of ins, lots of outs. Whilst there is that, the front is actually a bit smoother. I managed to get that on a little bit smoother. So yeah, we will see. We will get the roof done, get the door done, and get the front done, and then we'll take a view. I am concerned about the dust on the roof though. I haven't looked up there. Let me have a quick squint. Yeah. There's a lot of dust. There's a lot of dust, and there's a lot of like dandelion clocks and a few pigeon droppings. So I might have to think of some way of putting a roof over this using the gazebo frame. Oh, brain really is slow. Gazebo frame, and I've got a cover, and I think that might help prevent the worst of the dust, because I mean everywhere is open and it's just blowing dust. So we will see, but I'm kind of there for today. It doesn't look too bad. I think if we give this a good panel wipe, and give this all a proper, yeah, see, just the dust is dropping, and because it's partially smooth surface, it's sort of sticking to it. yeah, that's smooth. I think we put some white graffiti paint on there, then do what I'm going to do, and then we put some clear coat acrylic lacquer on it. We should be all right. There are a few bits and bobs that just need tidying up, and I need to put some seam sealant in a few places just to, you know, fill these edges in and prevent rain getting in. Mainly at the back on the other side, and cut the spots here. Apart from that, I think we'll be almost ready for spraying. Yeah, so hey, is what it is. That's another week of me doing this, and I'm hoping that next week we're going to get to some top coat and some paint effects. Who knows? Fingers crossed. And yeah, progress.